Hello and welcome on the Mad Max tutorial. My name is Paul and today I'll teach you how to maximize the speed of your gene when you run it in the multiple way. It means when you run more genes in the same time. There is already a tutorial, Speed Boost, where I learned how to maximize the speed of one gene of one instance, and this tutorial is also relevant for this one, so you should at first apply all the things from the speed boost and then you can follow this tutorial when you can run more genes in the same time, keeping the same speed and maximize it to the whole power of your computer, so you will truly use the whole power of your processor unit with all cores. It means this tutorial is very important, so let's get started. In advance I prepared 3 instances, and first of all I will show what not to do, what is the bad way, and this is just directly opening it through the file explorer, because when you open that, these genes first instance and the second instance will beat each other and it can cause runtime errors or as well. So this is only in one book opened. You have here the instances 1 and 2, and when you look to task manager, then you see there is only one instance open containing 2 genes right here, and as they are beating each other, this is not really recommended and good way how to start the multiple generations. And here in details you see that there is only one Excel application opened, so I will close it and show the other way. And this is at first important to open the single instance of the program without the gene, so you can just click the icon which you can have on desktop or somewhere else and open it 3 times. So if I will arrange it right here on the screen, we have here 3 instances which are fully independent, and the third one I place it, arrange it here, and finally let's open the task manager right here. So if you see in details, there are 3 independent instances of the Excel itself, and you can see here that there are 3 instances right there. They are still empty, and so we should open them via file. First way is just to open and find it in the folder of your computer. So I open the first instance, put the password, then the second instance. You can see it may be also in the recent workbooks. And the third instance, there is also the third way, is just you can do it via drag and drop. And when you do it by this way, you can see there you have also the book which is empty, and this one I will close. The empty one is also visible here, the book one right here. So I'll close it, that we do not have uselessly too much excels, and you can see that each instance now contains the gene here, and there are individual and independent, and in details you see right here the Excel. And the first thing you can do is to assign the processor core to each Excel separately, but at first I will show the scenario you can normally have, and the scenario is that all of the genes are dedicated just to one processor unit. Now, as I have here 8 cores, counting from 0 to 7, I will assign them to processor number 0. So now they are assigned, and when you go to performance, you can see the CPU usage, and there are 4 cores and 8 logical processors, and this will not tell you so much, so it's good to change the graph to logical processors. And you can see that at this moment, as it's not running, the CPU 0 is not used at all, and this one CPU 1 is mostly used, and that's why the reason is also that I am recording this video, so there is more usage right now. And let's watch this CPU number 0 when I start all the genes. I prepared them in advance, and all the speed boost is already done based on tutorial speed boost. This is tutorial number 4 from the Gene 2.0 section. So now the genes are running, and as you know from the speed boost tutorial, it's optimal to switch to node tabs to even maximize the speed more. And now we will have to wait to see here the speed the gene is running, all 3 instances, and you see how the logical unit is used 100% right here completely. So it takes some time just to see what the speed will be, and this is the settings which normally you can have, that all the instances are dedicated just to one core or one CPU. And I will show how to change it then, and to maximize all the cores or select the ones which are not fully used, so you can use more their power. Now it's eating 37% in total, but we might consider, or we must consider, that I'm also recording this video in high resolution, so a lot of power is already eaten by the recording. So hopefully we will see the speed. Let's still wait. Now we can see it's around, there will be soon the other, it's more or around 1000 cycles per second. So we can play now with this little bit. You can do it by yourself and find just the combination which is the best for you. So I will keep the processor number 0 for instance 1, and then I will use processor number 1 and processor number 5, and to see what is changing. So here we have processor number 1, and here the processor number 5. So I'm using the processors with minimum usage. And now the situation changed, so we have processor number 0, which is for that one, then processor number 1 and number 5, and all of them are now fully used with 100% of its power. So let's a little bit wait, and you can already see that the speed increased, or it nearly I would say it doubled. And as I said, when I am recording, the power is eaten more. But I'll do other settings, so I go back to details and dedicate each gene to 2 processor units. But before this, I'll check which one are free, so I can use 2, 4, and let's say the last one. So for this I will assign also number 2. For the second one I will assign number 4, and finally for the last one I assign number 7. We will check the performance, and now we are even more using the power of more cores, and it's already 68%. I hope the speed was increased. We can just a little bit wait. It's not so significant right here, because normally when I run the Gene 1, it's normally about 20,000 cycles per second, so I can keep 20,000 cycles per second for each instance here. So you can try it by yourself without any recording or other renderings or some very power consuming processes. So it increased around 3,000 cycles, so the speed had tripled. So what you can learn from this is, for example, if you have 2 instances, you can use for each one 4 processor cores, or if you have 3 instances, we just using 2 cores, or for 4 instances 2. And it's quite evident that in this scenario it's optimal to use maximally 8 genes in the same time, because after that it will be reduced significantly. So based on your configuration and processor, you can decide what best works for you. And finally we see the speed, and finally last configuration I will make that which can be in the default. So I place each instance to all the processors. Maybe it can be the best option, because the Windows, I don't know how this works, but can decide by itself what is the most efficient way, and we will see if it changed or not. So we have still 62% used, something is reduced. It's hard to say how it has been changed, but nearly the speed is a little bit different. I know it's not so representative when I'm recording this, so that's why it's good. Please try it by yourself, try all the combinations you can have in your computer, and you can share your results or the screen in the Wave Hunters group, like post, or you can just send me email with the picture that I can see it, what you can achieve. For example, I'll be interested from the one who had reached with one instead 55 cycles per 55,000 cycles per second. So that would be really interesting how this works. So that is really powerful, and you see how you can maximize it. So thank you for watching, and if you are new here, please subscribe and have a great time.